In today's video, we're going to be playing a blue-red control deck by my patron, Kessig. When looking at this deck, we want all the value. We're playing 4 Snapcaster Mages, 4 Tidebinders, alongside 4 Flame of Anor. This in addition to a powerhouse from the past, Cryptic Command, and a new powerhouse, the One Ring. This deck seeks to bury your opponent in card advantage. So we're going to be taking this brew by Kessig through a League of Modern and seeing how powerful Tidebinder is in a blue-red shell. Match 1, we're on the draw, and starting hand looks quite good. Opponent goes turn 1 Spire Bluff. We will join them. Delta for the opponent. We will fire off one of these Preordains, and we will bottom the island, keep the Otawara, playing out our turn. Opponent plays out a Bauble, looking at their top, and then they play out a Delta. Ooh, another Tidebinder off the top. And in step, they go for a fetch, so we'll cast out our Tidebinder here. Easy strip mine, and then they Unholy Heat our Tidebinder. They untap, casting out an EI, exiling an island, and playing it out. Another land for us. Opponent plays out a Ragavan. So in step, we will fire off a Flame, drawing 2, which meets a Spell Pierce, and we will fetch Shock and bolt down the Rag. Lorn Revealed, not bad. We'll fire up Preordain. We will bottom both, finding Flame Slash, then play out our Otawara, passing. Which shocks in a Steam Vents, playing out a DRC. On the end step, we're gonna fire off Cryptic, bouncing and drawing a card, which meets a Force of Negation. Draw Steam Vents. We will fire off a Lorn Revealed, drawing 3, shocking our Steam Vents, and Flame Slash the DRC. Opponent fires off an EI, exiling Steam Vents, playing that out into a dash Ragavan. Nothing else from the opponent. Ooh, Flame is great draw. We'll play land passing. Opponent plays out a Ragavan into a DRC. In step, we will put in a Snapcaster, meeting a Spell Snare. And in response, I think we will flash in our Tasha's Tidebinder to counter the DRC trigger, which means this also gets rid of the DRC stuff. They go for a Heat on the Tidebinder. We're gonna counter that. And they have another removal spell. Counter spell for us. We will draw 2. Snapcaster Mage is great. We will play that out, picking up Flame Slash, and we will slash DRC. They find a Bolt. Unfortunate. They attack in, exile a Force. Okay, another Snapcaster Mage. Perfect draw. We'll play that now. Picking up a Flame, and then we will flash it back. Picking 2 modes. We'll draw 2, kill the Ragster. Now we have double counter spell up, so I feel like this game is all but over. Land for the opponent. Land for us. We'll play that, attacking for 2. Then play out our One Ring, drawing a card. I'm gonna cast out an EI, we will counter. Draw a Bolt, draw 2 with the One Ring, play out tap land, attack in. Someone plays out a Murktide, which we will counter, and then bolt him on the end step. We take 2, drawing a Snapcaster, draw 3, then we'll attack in for 2. Play out land, passing. Nothing from the opponent, we'll flash and snap, and opponent scoops it up. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're gonna take out Cryptic, 2 Forces, and 2 Tidebinders for 2 Disputes, 2 Relics, and a Flusterstorm. Ooh, game 2, hands is a little too weak. And 6 looks much better. We will put back a Steam Vents. It goes turn 1 Tarn and do a Bauble. We draw another land. We will play out a Canal. Opponent plays out a Tarn, and we'll join them. Another Tarn for the opponent into a DRC. Another land for us. We'll play out Island, passing. And in step, they fire off a Bolt at us. Opponent casts out a Preordain. So in response, we will bolt their DRC. Then they play out a Ragavan. Another land for us. We will Flame Slash the Rag. Then play out Misty, passing. Opponent fires off an EI. We will Flusterstorm that. No land from the opponent. That's nice. A Snapcaster is a good draw. We will play out our Tarn, passing. Another EI, we'll flash in our Snap. Oh, meets a Spell Snare. That's so good. And they exile Spell Pierce, which means they didn't find a land. That's nice. Find a counter spell. We'll play out land into a Lorn Revealed. Oh, they do have a Force Negation. Tried bluffing the Spell Pierce, but they saw through it. They play out a DRC. Flame Slash, great draw. We'll kill their DRC. Yeah, they counter spell that back. So we will counter their counter. Tap land for the opponent. Land for us. They top deck EI. Exile and land, playing that out. Another land. Pass. Another EI for the opponent. That is their last. They exile a Delta, playing it out. And they dash out a Ragavan, holding up 2 blue mana. Oh, and they even take our Snapcaster Mage. Okay, and they do cast it, which means we do have some outs here. And they snap Preordain. We find a Tasha's Tidebinder. And yeah, at this point, we're too far behind. They have 4 cards in hand, so we'll scoop it up and get on to game 3. Game 3, starting hand looks great. We'll lead on turn 1 Steam Vents into a Preordain. We'll keep one of the One Rings. Tapped land for the opponent, land for us. Ooh, no land for us. That's tough. Opponent plays Island into a Ledger Shredder. And yeah, this is weird, but I'll Mystical Dispute this. And then they play out a Ragavan. Land, thankfully. We will play out Spire Bluff and then Flame Slash the Ragavan. Opponent casts out an EI. We will Fluster. They play out a Steam Vents. We will cycle Lorn Revealed. And we'll pick up Island, playing that out. Opponent casts out a Preordain. And they play out an Island. And in the end step, we will cast out a Flame. Wow, that resolves. Counter spell for us. We will play out a Relic. In step, they pop their Islet. They play out a tap land. And we'll fire off another Flame. Again, resolves. Play out land, passing. Opponent plays out a Monkey. We will flash flash in a snap on the end step, which meets a dress down. Then we will bolt a Ragavan, and in response, they Unholy Heat our Snapcaster. Still on the end step, we will pop Relic, finding another flame, and another One Ring for us. We'll fire off a Preordain, bottom a One Ring, keep the land, play that out tap. When it does nothing, we will draw another 2. This does meet a counter spell. We find a snap, we will pass. Nothing from the opponent, we'll flash in snap, which meets a subtlety, and we'll keep the snap on top. And in step, we will bolt the subtlety. Once again, we'll play out our snap, which meets a stern scolding. Oh, Lorn Revealed, not bad. We'll play out a One Ring. Resolves. Oh my. Draw a card. Cycle Lorn Revealed, and play out an island. When it plays a Jace, I guess is worth a counter. Another flame for us. We'll draw 2. Ooh, Murktide, great. We will play out a Murktide. We'll cast out an EI. In response, we'll draw 2 with flame, and no counter for us, sadly. When it exiles a lightning bolt, bolting us. We take 2 off the One Ring. Creating not bad. We'll activate One Ring, drawing 3. Play out island. Run out another One Ring. Okay, they do counter, which is honestly fine. So I think they're just trying to kill us on the One Ring. We'll attack in for 8. Opponent fires off a bolt into another bolt. Okay, please don't have the 4th bolt. In step, we will bolt the opponent, fire off snap, flashback, bolt the opponent again. Wait, that triggers Murktide. That's sick. We will draw some cards off One Ring before we lose the life. Flash in our Tidebinder, counter the One Ring ability, which then they try and Unholy Heat this, which isn't going to do anything. Then we will draw a card, attack in with the team, and opponent scoops it up. Wow, it was a crazy match. Let's get on to match number 2. Match 2, we're on the draw. Strike hand looks fine. Opponent goes turn 1 Foundry. We'll go turn 1 Canal. They play out a Tarn. We draw a Flame. We'll play out a Canal. Play our island for the opponent. We'll play Manamu. Opponent plays a Plains. In step, we will draw 2 with Flame. Find a Murktide. We'll play out an island. Opponent cycles a Lorn Revealed. Picking up island, playing it out. In step, we'll fire off another Flame. Ooh, they spell pierce that. We find a Tidebinder. Play Tarn, passing. In step, they ice our Canal. They play out a Triumph. And in step, we'll cycle our Lorn Revealed. We find a snap. We will shock in our Steam Vents, passing. Another land for the opponent. We'll flash and snap. And flashback Flame. Drawing 2, which meets a Reprieve. Oh, wow. Another snap for us. We will attack in for 2. In step, they flash in a Solitude, taking out our snap. Opponent plays a Plains, attacks in for 3. They pick up their Kahira. We'll flash in a snap. Flashback, another Flame. Drawing 2, killing Solitude. Oh, Reprieve. Oh my gosh. That's so good. We will bolt the Solitude. Land for us. We'll play that. Cast out a One Ring. Draw a card. Picking up a Lorn Revealed. Then we'll untap our One Ring and draw another 2. And attack in for 2, which meets the bolt. In step, they cycle a Lorn Revealed. Ooh, a Narset for the opponent. Into a Days Undoing. Oh, we don't even have a red source to get. That's so unfortunate. Find a snap into another snap. They cast out a Lifeline Binding, taking out our One Ring, and at this point, we're too far behind. We'll scoop it up and get on to sideboarding. We'll take out 3 Flame Slash, a Tidebinder, and a Murktide for 3 Blood Moons and 2 Forces. Game 2, starting hand looks great. Need on turn 1 Canal. I'm gonna play out a Tarn. We'll play out a Canal. I'm gonna play out a Strand. And you know what? We're gonna go for broke here. We'll play out our Blood Moon, and that trades for a Spell Pierce. I'm gonna untap, slamming a Narset. Down ticking, picking up another Narset. Find a land. We will bolt the Narset. Cast out a Preordain. Bottom 1, keep 1. Play out land. Play out a Teferi, which we need to counter. No land. Another Lorn Revealed. We'll shock in our land and cast out a Lorn Revealed. Pretty good draws. They slam a Narset. Down ticking yet again. Finding a Lorn Revealed. Manamu pretty good. Bolt a Narset. Play Manamu and just draw another 3. They cycle Lorn Revealed. They shock in a Hallowed Fountain. Playing Teferi, and we got the counter that. We'll get rid of our Tidebinder. Mountain. Yeah, let's play out our Blood Moon here. I'm gonna play Gyre Reach. We will draw 2. Dovin's Veto. Preordain, fine. We'll draw 3. Play out a Mountain, passing. I'm gonna place an island. We find an island. We'll play out our One Ring. Play out our island. Draw 1. Meets a Leyline Binding. We'll let that resolve, and then cast out a Tidebinder, countering the exile effect. And forces a great draw. They fire a Tidebinder. Sure. They cast out another Binding. We will counter that. Draw an island. Draw 2 with the One Ring. Oh, they have a Tidebinder of their own. That's sick. We'll fire off a Preordain. Bottom Forest, top Flame. Draw 2 off of Flame. Play out island and bolt the Tidebinder. Nothing from the opponent. We'll draw 2. Play Mountain, passing. In step, they ice our island into a Leyline Binding, which we will force. Another land for us. We'll draw 3. Play out a Mountain, passing. In step, they flash in a Subtlety. Another island for them. They attack in. We will bolt the Subtlety. Then draw 2. Draw another 2. And still in the end step, we'll flash in a Tidebinder. We'll draw 4. Play land. Cast out another One Ring. Draw a card. card, attack in for 3. Nothing from the opponent. We'll flash in 2 snaps, bolting them twice. And they try to subtlety that, so we'll counter that. And we resolve both snaps, resolve both bolts. Never mind, we resolve one of the bolts. Draw another snap, attack in, then cast a snap, and bolt them again. They scoop it up. Let's get on to game 3. Game 3, we're going to take out our Blood Moons and bring in Mystical Disputes and a Tidebinder. Game 3, hand looks fine. Turn 1 tap land, we'll play out our Tarn. We find a bolt, we'll shock in our Steam Events. In step, they cycle Lorn Revealed. They play Island, we will join them. And they cycle another Lorn Revealed. They play out a Tarn into a Teferi, we'll flash in a Tidebinder. And they bounce our Tidebinder. Another Flame for us, we will bolt a Teferi, then play out our Manamu. They play an Island into a Narsa. In step, we'll flash in our Tidebinder. And they Leyline Binding our Tidebinder. Preordain for us, we'll play out our Tarn. They cast a Lorn Revealed. Yeah, we will counter and bounce their Narset. We draw the Preordain, we'll fire one of them off. Then the Flame top the Otawara. Play out another Preordain. And we'll top both of these. Playing out Otawara, passing. Don't place out a Ginstone Cavern. We will fire off a counter spell on the Narset. They have another Narset, unfortunate. Draw a Lorn Revealed, we'll pass. Yes, in step we will just cycle our Flame. Find another Lorn Revealed, we'll cycle one, which meets a Tasha's Tidebinder. Then they activate Gaia Reach. So we'll discard Lorn Revealed. One Ring, not awful, not great. We'll play that. They play out a Teferi, down tick with their Narset. They pick up a Force, down tick, bouncing our Ring. We'll draw a card. Another Bolt. We'll lead on a Bolt on the Narset, trying to bait out this Force. And they do force it. So then we will bolt it again. Oh, they have another Force. Guess we'll just fast out our Tidebinder, passing. Down tick their Narset, finding Reprieve, tick up Teferi. Upkeep, they activate Gaia Reach. We'll discard Flame. Go to combat, attack their Narset. Then cast out our One Ring, which they do Reprieve. And we're just going to run out Snap and hope they don't play creature next turn. They take up the Teferi. Upkeep, they activate Gaia Reach. We'll discard Flame. Back in with Snap, trying to kill Narset. And that meets a Tidebinder. Yeah, at this point, opponent just has too much control, so we'll scoop it up and get on to match 3. Match 3, we're on the play, and our starting hand looks fine. We'll go turn 1 Canal. Opponent goes turn 1 Garden into an Amulet. We find another Flame. We'll play Land Pass. Opponent plays out a Rot Farm, making 2 mana. Then they play out a Grazer. Then they play out the Rot Farm into a One Ring, which we will counter. Play out an Island, cast out a Flame, and destroy their Amulet. Opponent plays out a Gardens into a Zusa, into a Forest, and a T-West. Ooh, we find our own One Ring. We'll play out a land and cast that. Drawing a card now. Opponent plays a Saga into a Sunhome. Drawing a land, we'll draw 2. Play out a Manamu and pass. Opponent attacks in for 2. And on the end step, we will cast out our Snap, flashing back a Flame, killing a Zutza and drawing 2. We'll draw 3 of the One Ring, then play out a Spire Bluff now tapped. And our end step, they make a Construct. They make another Construct, get in an Amulet. They play out a Valakut into another Amulet, and they attack in. We will cast out our Flame of Anor, destroying an Amulet and taking out the Construct. And in step, we will untap our One Ring with a Namu, drawing 4. Bunch of lands. We'll play 1 out. Opponent plays out Bajuka Bog, and we'll cast out our Tidebinder to counter that, so that we can keep our counter spell in the yard. We'll draw 5 on the end step, bolt the Construct, then cast out Snap, flashing back a bolt, killing the Grazer. We'll lose 5 on the upkeep. Find a counter spell, draw 6, play out a Murktide, attack in, play out our Misty, bolt the opponent, plays out a Dryad, which we will counter, and opponent scoops it up. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 2 Force Negations, 3 Bolts, and a Snapcaster Mage for 3 Alpine Moon and 3 Blood Moon. Game 2, hand looks great. Opponent goes turn 1 Force into an Amulet. Find a Lorn Revealed. We'll go turn 1 Canal into a Preordain. Bottom both of these. Flame Slash, not bad. Opponent plays out a Simic Growth Chamber, bouncing their Forest, and then plays out a Dryad. Then they play out a Rot Farm into a Defense Grid. Wow. We will Flame Slash the Dryad. That shock. Play Alpine Moon, naming Simic Growth Chamber. Another Defense Grid into a Growth Chamber. We draw a land. We'll play out our Island and just cast out our Tidebinder now. Opponent plays a Mycosynth Garden. Ooh, One Ring. We will fetch out an Island and play our One Ring. Draw a card now and attack in for 3. Opponent does nothing. We will draw 2 with the One Ring. Yes, we will untap our One Ring with a Namu. Draw 3. Ooh, there's the Blood Moon that we were looking for. We'll play that and attack in for 3. And on the end step, they do have a Beseiju. Opponent plays out a Spelunk. We see a new card every day, folks. Into an Endurance. In step, we'll cycle our Revealed, picking up the Island. We'll draw 4. Find another Blood Moon. Let's Flame Slash the Endurance. Fetch out an Island. Play out our Blood Moon into a Flame. Draw 2 and I guess one of the grids. Back in. Nothing from the opponent. We're going to draw some cards on the One Ring in our upkeep. Pass out a Tidebinder to counter the One Ring and turn it off. Draw another land. We'll play Island. Back in for 3. Pull the opponent. Cast a Murktide. And opponent scoops it up. Let's get on to match number 4. Match 4, we're on the draw, and starting hand looks fine. Opponent goes turn 1 breeding pool into a suspended footballs. Another wondering for us. We'll go turn 1 fetch shock and get a preordain. I think both of these are fine. Upkeep, opponent casts an ice, tapping down our land, and we'll play out a turn. On opponent's end step, while we're fetching, they cast out a Cascader, and we find a preordain. We'll play our land out, cast a flame, and kill one of the rhinos. Opponent attacks in for 4. They play a turn, we find an island, and we're gonna go for the BREW here and play out a wondering, and that does meet a force negation. And in step, they do have a violent outburst, which means they got us here. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're gonna take out 4 bolts and 3 slashes for 2 disputes, 2 force negations, and 3 flusterstorm. Game 2, starting hand looks fine. We'll go turn 1 island into a preordain. Ooh, Cryptic Command's real bad this matchup, so we're just gonna bottom both of these. Opponent goes turn 1 foothills. We'll play out our steam vents. We find a Lorne revealed. They put a tap steam vents. We'll play out our Misty. Another land for us. We'll play out another turn. Land go for the opponent. Land go for us. And on our end step, they cast a violent outburst. We will counterspell it, and they force negation our counterspell, and we will force back, and that meets another force pitching commandeer. Interesting. Our attacks in for 8. Then they cast out a Murktide into a suspended footballs. We draw a land. We'll play one ring, draw a card, and play out a tap steam vents. Nothing from the opponent. We'll cycle a land. We lose a life. Draw a snap. We'll draw 2, and I think our only out here is to draw another one ring, so we'll draw 2 cards with a flame. Ooh, and that means that we are dead on board. So yep, we will scoop it up to this opponent and get on to match number 5. Match 5, we are on the draw, and hand looks fine. Turn 1 Misty for the opponent, and we'll join them. Another Misty for the opponent. We find a land. We'll play out our Spire Bluff and fire off a preordain, and we'll bottom both of these. Find another preordain. Darkslick Swords for the opponent. We find another land. We will fire off preordain. Wow, and they force a negation us. Then we'll play out an island, passing. Opponent plays out a land. We draw yet another land. We'll play it out tapped. It cycles a Lorne revealed, and then plays out an island. Okay, Flam Vanor, finally a good draw. We'll play out an island. And on the end step, they cast an Archmage's Charm, so in response, we'll cast our own Archmage's Charm. Then they fire off Consider. Nothing from the opponent. We'll fire off a preordain. We'll bottom the revealed, top flame, and then play out a Manamu. In step, they flash into Bowmasters. Opponent attacks in for 2, plays out a Sunken Rune. We'll bolt their Bowmaster, which meets a counter spell. And then we will draw 2 with the flame. 9 lands and removal spells, which don't matter. Another flame for us. We'll flame slash their Bowmaster. Then we'll play out our mountain, and then flame slash the Orc Army. Nothing from our opponent. We will flash or cast another flame, and they have another Bowmasters. And we find a bolt and a snap, and instead we'll still bolt the Bowmaster, which they force a negation. We find a land. We will flame slash the Bowmaster, then cast out our snap, then play out our island, flash back our flame, drawing 2 and killing the army. Oh my goodness, come on, lands. Oh, it draws 2. We find a counter spell. We will fire off our Lorne revealed, then we will play out a Fire Bluff Canal, attack in for 2. In step, they cast a Shieldred's Edict, killing our snap. Opponent plays out a one ring. We'll counter the one ring, and the opponent scoops it up. So let's get on to sideboarding. We're gonna take out a Cryptic, a Tidebinder, and 3 Flame Slashes for 2 Mystical Disputes and 3 Flusterstorm. Game 2, hands just 2 land lights, so mole. And this looks fine. We'll put back our mountain. Opponent goes turn 1 Shores. We'll go turn 1 Canal. And on our end step, they cast to Consider. Another Shores for the opponent. We'll play out a Canal. Opponent plays Island. We will join them. Opponent plays out a one ring. We find a Preordain. We will fire that off. Bottom both. Please give me a land. We do, and pass. And opponent just scoops it up? Wow, I guess they just didn't want anything to do with it. So overall, I was really impressed with this list. I think there are some weird things about it. You know, mana efficiency, I would prefer some number of spell pierces, and even like the amount of cards we're drawing, having 4 force negations, really allowing us to tap out for the one ring, or even some sort of free spell like subtlety. And one of the bigger issues with this compared to the blue-black variant is the fact that the win conditions don't really gain you much life. So having shielded plus the one ring is really impressive, while in this list, we really can't recoup that life. So I'm more concerned about, you know, aggressive decks and stuff like that. But anyways, this was a super fun list. Thank you again to Kessig for providing this for me. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.